and gentlemen, good day and welcome to Q4 and FY2024 earnings conference call of Fairchem Organics Limited. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touchtone phone. And I've handed the conference over to Ms. Purvangi Jain from Valorum Advisors. Thank you, and over to you, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone, and a warm welcome to you all. My name is Purvangi Jain from Valorum Advisors. We represent the investor relations of Fairchem Organics Limited. On behalf of the company, I would like to thank you all for participating in the company's earnings call for the fourth quarter of the financial year 2024. Before we begin, a quick cautionary statement. Some of the statements made in today's Concall may be forward-looking in nature. Such forward-looking statements are subject to risk and uncertainties, which could cause actual results to differ from those anticipated. Such statements are based on management's belief as well as assumptions made by and information currently available to the management. Audiences are cautioned not to place any undue reliance on these forward-looking statements in making any investment decisions. The purpose of today's earnings conference call is purely to educate and bring awareness about the company's fundamental business and financial quarter under review. I would like to introduce you to the management participating with us in today's earnings call and hand it over to them for their opening remarks. We have with us Mr. Nahush Zariwala, MD and Chairman, and Mr. Rajan Zaveri, Chief Financial Officer. Without any further delay, I request Mr. Rajan Zaveri to start with his opening remarks on the financial highlights. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Purvangi. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our earnings call for the fourth quarter of the financial year 23-24. Let me first start off by giving you some of the key financial highlights, after which our CMD, Shri Nahush Zariwala, will give you some of the operational highlights. For the fourth quarter under review, the revenue from operations stood at 161 crore rupees, which grew by around 6% on year-to-year basis. EBITDA for the quarter declined by around 2% to INR 19 crores, with EBITDA margins reported at 11.71%, and the net profit was flat year-on-year at around 12 crores. For the financial year ending 2024, the revenue from operations declined marginally by 4% to INR 622 crores. EBITDA was down by 7.5% to INR 67 crore, with EBITDA margins reported at 10.78%, and the net profit was down by 7% to approximately rupees 41 crores. Now I request our CMD, Shri Nahush Zariwala, to brief you on the operational highlights for the period under review, that is quarter 4.
Good afternoon, everyone. As all of you know, Indian specialty chemical sector is passing through a rough time, but still in such tough conditions, I am happy to say that on operational front, we have witnessed a growth of around 15% in volume on quarter-to-quarter basis across all products. And while in value terms, there was a decrease of approximately 8%, which was mainly due to decrease in the raw material and finished product prices, which are linked to the commodities. There were initial losses incurred in form of loss of material and high utility cost while establishing and stabilizing the production of isosteric acid at the desired quality level within our facilities, which marginally impacted EBITDA margins. We remain quite optimistic about our new high-value product, isosteric acid. We have done a full container load export of the isosteric acid to Europe in the month of March, and have secured more export orders for this product from both existing and new customers. And we are also actively pursuing approvals from new consumers and are anticipating a very positive response, and we really expect the plant to go on full operation capacity utilization by end of this year. With that, we can now start the question-answer session.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to withdraw yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handset while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Ashish from InvestQ. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir, as you mentioned that the industry is going through challenges. Would you like to highlight something on how the profitability is likely to shape up? Because we used to be 15% plus margins. Now we are at around 10-11% consistently. How do you see this maybe changing over the next 12 months? And secondly, on the, you mentioned in your presentation also, isosteric acid has been well accepted. So overall, on a company basis, how does the volume growth trajectory look like from a 12 to 24 months basis?
I would like to say that yes, last year the profitability margins did get impacted, but that was more associated with our trials which were going on for stabilizing isosteric acid on the plant level. And as you are, you must be aware, we are the only company making isosteric acid in India, and no technology is available off the shelf. So whatever product stabilization has to be done, which we had developed on the pilot plant, had to be done on the plant itself, and which translated in substantial amount of losses in form of loss of material and high utility cost. And I'm happy to say that the quality what we have started manufacturing is of the acceptable standard and is matching any of the products available in the market made by any of the European or US based manufacturers, and we have started exporting our product to the developed economies of Europe and US. And in future, whatever the growth is going to come because of the isosteric acid in short term, and the margins also, what we feel is we'll again roll back to the level of around 15-16%, and that would be because of the high value forward integration project of isosteric acid. And secondly, as regards the volume growth, in last year also when the times were tough, we grew by 15%, and we expect to maintain the momentum. And it looks like that current quarter also, we feel that we might be able to maintain the momentum of growth, which normally we have been doing every year.
So, sir, is it will be a fair assumption that given the capacity utilization that we are right now, overall as a company, maybe around 15 to 20% bracket of volume growth is doable for the next maybe 12 months, and margins, is there a picture of margin improving anywhere, or is it a kind of a aspirational number for us right now in terms of inching it up?
Isosteric acid is a forward integration project. Right. So obviously the margins are going to improve. It's not going to impact the top line much. It's going to impact the bottom line.
Okay. Sure, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Prakash Kapadia from Spark PMS. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Thanks for the opportunity. 2 or 3 questions from my end. If I were to look at, the numbers post-COVID and from 22 to 24, our, top line is still lower. Our margins are still lower. We've, tried to diversify and get into newer products. So, from the existing end customer point of view, is it, there is down trading in paints? Is it inks which is not growing? If you could help us understand what is happening in, 2, 3 of our key segments why is it that despite, capacity expansion, despite we being competitively priced and, having a good relationship with customers, we've not been able to grow? So is it volatility? Is it, less orders from paint companies? If you could help us understand that. And, once the forward integration, we were testing the products, we had dispatched, some of the newer products which we had developed. So how is the response, and next year what kind of a growth do we expect from the new product in terms of, say, contribution to sales? Those are my two questions.
We are talking of last 4 years. You are talking of last 4 years. So 2021 was the COVID year, and I understand that across the world, the performance was affected because from March 2020 onwards, for at least next 6 months, the impact of COVID was so much in India. So except for pharmaceutical companies and to some extent food companies, all other companies were impacted. So 2021 is for that. From 21-22 onwards, if you see our past presentations also, there has been a continuous volume growth. Now, as far as value is concerned, as the top line is concerned, it is dependent on the commodity pricing. If there is a surge in the commodity pricing, our top line would be higher irrespective of the volume, and if the commodity pricing is lower, then the top line could be lower. So, as far as value is concerned, it is not entirely in our hand. What is in our hand is to achieve a continuous volume growth, and that has been there since 21-22. 22-23 was higher than 21-22, and 23-24 was again higher than 22-23, and 24-25 we expect again volume to be higher than 23-24. And as far as improvement in EBITDA margin is concerned, as our Newsbeat responded to previous query, that isostearic acid is a value-added product. So, because the value-added product, our raw material cost would remain at that level only, whatever product we were selling. Earlier we were selling monobasic acid, and for monobasic acid, whatever was the raw material cost would remain at that only. From monobasic acid, we are further making isostearic acid with some additional cost of chemicals or catalysts, etc. But it is a very high-value product. So, what we are expecting is that there will be marginal increase in the top line, but there should be a substantial increase in the bottom line. And that is how we want to get back to an EBITDA level of 15% for the current financial year. I am talking of financial year 24-25, not talking specifically for this April-June quarter. We are hoping to improve on a quarter-to-quarter basis, each quarter coming 3-4 quarters of this financial year to improve our EBITDA and achieve a rate of 15% for 24-25.
But, Ranjan bhai, if I were to, try and, take this discussion further and, look at 22 to 24 at a time when, commodity prices have fluctuated, they've gone up, they've gone down. But, despite that, our margins have been very muted. So, in case, the end product prices have, risen, top line should have risen. Here, we are seeing a lesser sales growth or muted sales growth plus a margin compression. So it's neither showing in margins nor it's showing in top line is what I am trying to understand.
The top line, for the top line, not achieving the growth in top line, so I have already explained the reason for that. What is in our hand is volume growth. Now coming to the margin, see, this COVID did not stop from March 20 to September 20. It was having a second phase from April 21 onwards also. And then, see, we had the capacity in place, we had the ability to purchase the raw material, but suppose if for any reason we are in a B2B segment, suppose our customers, we are in B2B segment and our customers, if they want to get rid of their inventory and they don't want to purchase for a particular quarter or a couple of months in a particular quarter, then we have not lost the customer. Earlier also we have said that we have not lost the customer, but that it is not in our hand, and that is how to address those things only. The management went for this isostearic thing from as a value-added product from monobasic acid, and now we are at a stage where we are destined to get the fruits of that development which we carried out since last 2-3 years.
Okay. And any commentary you want to give from the demand from paints or inks? How has it been last year? What are we seeing?
As you said, we grew by 10 to 15%. I mean, we are getting new customers, and our old customers we are retaining our old customers. We haven't lost a single customer. Neither we have seen a drop in offtake from a single customer.
And paint industry volume also, all companies put together, paint industry volume growth also would have been in the same region of around 10% only. What we achieved?
We achieved, in fact, 15%.
Okay, fine. Thank you. If I have more questions, I'll join back the queue. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. The next question is from the line of Niraj Shah from Exemplar Investment. Please go ahead.
Thanks for the opportunity. Can we have the absolute total volume figure for Q4 as well as FY24?
FY24 figures, I think we have already given in the presentation. And the Q4 quantity processed Q4 was 19,000 tons, raw material Q4 figure.
19,000. And FY24 is around 62?
5,000.
65,000.
Yeah, 65,000.
Okay. And what is the revenue in value terms of our key products, linoleic and dimer?
Linoleic, dimer. See, that is a very good question. Earlier, we were having our revenue percentage from our prime products generally hovered around 75% or so. But after this associated thing started and we started processing more and more of that on a trial basis, our realization from prime products is now has reached approximately 85%. So that is a very good sign, and that should go a long way going forward in improving our EBITDA margin. So our linoleic acid, dimer acid, toco, isostearic acid, and other acids, other fatty acids, which are all getting us a value which is higher than the corresponding raw material cost, is now close to 85% of our total sales in value terms.
Okay, and what is linoleic particularly? Still 45% contributing?
Linoleic is still 46%. I will tell you the exact number. It is still 46%, yes.
And dimer?
Dimer is again 27%.
Which is expected to go up in future.
Okay, and what is the update on the new raw material project that we were planning?
That is going to take some time. We'll be able to talk in the last quarter, because again it's a very novel product, and it's already R&D work is over, and we have started work on pilot plant.
So commercialization is not expected this year?
It's going to take some time.
And what kind of volume sales we expect from isoteric in FY25?
Fairly good volumes. Already we have started shipping the material in container loads.
Okay, so
yeah.
So in pull and push theory of business,
there is a pull.
There is a pull for these isostearic things. We are not required to push. We are only required to make the isostearic acid.
In fact, we have currently more orders than what we can produce. Plant is stabilizing, so that is taking little time.
So it will take how much? 1 or 2 quarters it will take more for stabilization?
Maximum 1 or 2 quarters. Maximum.
So by second half we should see good sales of isostearic.
Yeah. Maximum, outer limit should be September. By that time, 100% it will be stabilized. Then working at full capacity.
Okay, and just last question. You talked regarding one-time stabilization cost for isostearic. So how much was that for FY24, and is it recurring in nature, or are we through it?
We are through with it.
In there.
And what was that one-time cost in, how much it impacted?
It's not a one-time cost. It cannot be put in exactly a one-time cost pattern, because, we started running the material on the plant in month of July.
Okay.
Then we do some trials, there is a loss, we stabilize the product, again we go back to R&D, do something. So it's not you cannot put it as a one-time loss.
So we can't quantify it.
longer period. And we cannot put it in exactly rupee terms also. So much was lost. But we lost. I mean, that much we...
And there are other related things also in terms of power and utilities also for that, ne?
Yes.
Material cost, by material cost, what we mean is whatever the process, and suppose that perhaps did not work out to our desired level, then the material would get inferior, and then we might be required to dispose of it at a lower value. So those kinds of losses also would be there. So there are multiple things when we say that there are startup losses kind of a thing.
Okay, thank you and all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. The next question is from the line of Raj Shah from Status LLP. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so if I look at the other expenditure, I think this quarter there has been a substantial rise in the other expenditure, as you reckon that, it is because of the stabilization cost. As I understand that it's very tough.
See, if you have a volume growth of 15%, then these other costs also to that extent would be higher, no?
Okay, but would it be possible for you to, give us an idea of how much those stabilization costs would be for us to understand that what could have been the margin for this quarter, assuming that the stabilization cost would not have been there?
No, it is not separately worked out that way.
Okay. And from what I understand, that the realizations for ISOs, is roughly about, 1.2 million a ton. So is it fair to assume that as it's a forward integration for us, the gross margin should be roughly about 70 to 75%?
No. If I can do that, then my profit.
What did you say is the isostatic price?
No, because I think on the previous call, there are a few participants who said that the ISO's realization could be in the vicinity of 1 million per ton. Right?
1 million per ton?
1 million what?
Dollars?
1 million rupees.
1 million?
No, 1 million rupee. 1 million rupee. 1 million rupee
what it?
Per ton you are saying 1 million rupee? No.
So could you just help us share the realizations for ISO, if it's possible for you?
No, it won't be. It won't be advisable for us to do that. It won't be advisable.
Okay, but that's it from my side.
It is good. It is really good. By any standard, it is good.
Is it fair to assume it's double that of dimer?
No, anyway, Mr. Sir, we are exporting these things. Whatever. So, after the month is completed, now the government is coming out with an export-import data also. So, you will get this to know through that data also, each month what is going to be our isostatic price, and that would vary. See, as Nauzi said, we are stabilizing, and till the time we fully stabilize by September, this price would vary. So, there is no point in communicating that what is the isostatic price as of now.
And with absolutely full volumes and everything, we can talk in Q2's
earnings call.
Okay.
100% clear.
Okay. That's it from my side. Thanks.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Aditya Sen from Robo Capital. Please go ahead.
Hi, thank you for the opportunity. So as we are diverting such large capacity to the new raw material, so do we have any plan on paper as to how much contribution will such diversion bring to the top line in FY26? Because you said it will commission around FY and by the end of this year.
You are talking of the new product about which we are still working on?
Yeah.
Oh. No. We haven't done any investment in the equipment on that plant.
No. So I am specifically talking about the capacity that you have diverted to the new raw material.
Yeah.
Oh, isostatic acid.
No.
Yeah.
He's talking about isostatic.
You are talking about the current isostatic acid export about which you have been talking since last few minutes?
So isostatic, you have already guided that it is for forward integration and all.
Yes.
I'm talking about the one that you said will commission around by the end of this year.
No, I mean, that is that project is the new raw material what we are working on. Again, it's the first time anyone will be making in India and one of the few in the world. And it's taking its own time. Already we have purchased the pilot plant and we are working on the pilot plant. So, I mean, at this stage, I can say one thing that at lab level, we have seen the encouraging results, and so that's the reason we have gone in for pilot plant. But, I mean, it won't, we'll be able to say something on that by end of this year.
All right. And just to confirm an answer to the previous participant, because the isosteric expenses will subside in Q1, the stabilization expenses, so that will lead to increase in margins. So you said that it will bring the EBITDA back to 15% in this quarter itself, or by the end of this year?
End of this year. No, we said that on an annual basis, this will be gradually will reach to 15%.
Achha, all right, got it.
It will increase each quarter, that percent would increase each quarter, and when you see the 12-month results, you may perhaps find that it is 15% on a 12-month basis.
All right, and so ultimately 15% EBITDA when isosteric will kick in properly. Fair to assume?
Yes. Fair enough.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Yagnam from MSEC. Please go ahead.
Hi, thank you for the opportunity. Two short questions from my side. What would be the export mix in FY24, sir?
What was the export?
Yeah.
Export was 5, and that is mentioned in the presentation. For Q4, it was around 5% of our total sales. But going forward, our export will increase because, as Shri Naudi said, gradually we are going to increase our isosteric acid export to US and Europe, and it is a high-value product. So that export percent would gradually increase. We were to, in last many years, we were focused more on the domestic sales because we were in fatty acid business, like dimer acid and linoleic acid, etc., which had a huge market in India, and so we were focused on Indian market. But now with this isosteric acid, which is a market, which is a product meant for the end users of this product are in Europe and USA mainly. There are in Japan also they are there. So that is how our export would gradually increase from this 5%. You may find that in 24-25, our export would be exceeding 10% or may even reach 12 to 15% also.
All right, sir, great. And with regards to dimer, so in the last con call we were discussing that dumping from China has been on the downturn. So how is the situation now, and has our Asia business grown?
No, we don't see any dumping now. No, we are not seeing any dumping from China anymore.
Yeah, all right. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. The next follow-up question is from the line of Aditya Sen from Robo Capital. Please go ahead.
Thank you again. So, as of now, we know that this Grasim is entering into the paints business. So, is it going to be beneficial for us, or will it affect our demand in any sense? Any updates on that?
Already our product has been approved by Grasim. It's already approved. So, I mean, we are absolutely safe. We have been supplying material to all 5 big paint customers. So, if whoever market share goes up, we are fine with it. We won't lose any. If, as for example, Asian Paints market share goes down and Grasim share goes up, then we'll be selling more to Grasim. Because our products are approved at the R&D and production level. So we are comfortable.
Okay. All right. Got it. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Manoj from Kiva Advisors. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Thank you for the chance. to ask. So just couple of questions. You said on a 12-month basis, we could be 15% EBITDA margin because of isolated acid. So does that mean as we go forward in the end of the quarters, the margin can be higher than 15%?
Yes. Yes. It can. In the fourth quarter, margin would certainly be higher than 15%. Then only the entire year's average will be 15%.
Right, sir. Thanks. So, I just want to ask some basic question on the dimer acid to the paint companies, the branded companies that we sell to. How much of their requirement comes from us, and how much do they?
We have around greater than 2/3 market share, maybe around 70% of total India's market share. Balance comes from import.
Right. So yet, when the dimer acid China pricing was coming off, we had to reprice based on that as well, because those.
Yes.
Right, because
we have to match import prices.
Right, got it. And I think because we use the raw material, which is, does it, I think if it was an old thing that our cost is lower than China synthetic because we make from
waste raw material.
Yeah, so therefore our cost would be lower than China. So China would be selling at a loss when they were selling to India.
See, I mean, everyone knows that why the chemical sector in India is suffering. I mean, or you can see a number of specialty chemical companies' results, and you'll find the same story. I mean, in fact, I'm happy to say that we have been, over the period, we have become one of the most competitive manufacturer, whereby in the worst market scenario also, we have been able to maintain our volume growth and haven't seen major erosion of EBITDA margins.
Right. And so when has the price from China stopped falling? Like in which quarter or which month?
The last call also we are saying that it is already stopped. So it
has happened in first quarter and second quarter.
Long back.
Okay.
First and second quarter it happened.
Right. So from now, from this revenue base, we should see the volume growth convert into sales growth.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you. I'll come back, sir. Thanks.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Niraj Shah from Exemplar Investment. Please go ahead.
Thanks for the follow-up. Just I wanted to understand on our capacities. We have dedicated around 40,000 metric ton capacity out of total 120,000 for our new raw material project, right?
Yes.
So if we assume, say, 15% volume growth for FY25 for our old products, then we are expecting for the year around 75,000 metric ton for the year.
Yeah, volume. We will have 90% utilization of our existing capacity, 90% plus utilization of our existing capacity during 24-25.
Okay, then we won't have much leg room for further volume growth from our old products unless we expand capacities for our old products, right?
Yeah, we can. We can. We have enough money on hand. We have, if the market is there, we have the knowledge about raw material, finished product, equipment. We can expand.
Okay, normally if we reach at 85% capacity utilization, then we plan further expansion, right? So is there any plan for further capex in this year for old product capacity expansion?
No, not in this year. And see, there are multiple options we can look at. Rather than going in for capacity expansion only, we can further upgrade our products to value addition. Only volume is not the answer. Only there are multiple ways to look at it.
Okay, so you mean forward integration and all?
Yes, exactly.
And we are encouraged by our esoteric thing.
We are absolutely encouraged. Our esoteric thing is an encouraging thing. whatever investments we have done in our R&D is now started paying off.
Okay, so if I understand in short, then we have multi-year growth strategy in place for the company as far as scalability is concerned.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's already in place.
Okay, all the best.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Keval Shah from Jitai Investment Private Limited. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. Sir, in line with the previous question that you answered, sir, do you think there is a potential for a forward integration of linoleic acid as well, and you see a market for that as well?
Yes, it's there. It is there.
Okay, and the realization, so we are potentially, sir, looking for that, like in terms of our R&D and the resources being put to use, we are looking for any such product as well after isosteric acid?
Yes, already working on it.
Okay, and this would obviously be different from the earmark capacity on the new raw material that we are working on, right, sir?
Yes.
Okay. And sir, would you be able to give some understanding on the end application industry for the new raw material that we are working on?
It's going to oil business. Basically, it's oleochemical only.
Yeah.
And I can say one thing that no one in India is making it. And in world also there are 3 or 4 players.
Okay, and the end applications, sir, of that would be in paints, cosmetics, any of these?
High value applications in lubricants and all number of high value applications. It's a biodegradable product.
Okay, understood, sir. Understood. And sir, if we are to sort of expand going forward, maybe 1 or 2 years from now, would it be a brownfield expansion or a greenfield, sir, with our current land and capacity?
Greenfield.
It will be a greenfield. So for the coming year, we don't really have any plan for any capital expenditure, right? Any substantial capex in terms of any...
Except for forward integration capex. Except for the forward integration capex. That's all.
And sir, how much could that be amount-wise?
It won't be much. We'll be using our internal accruals only.
We are not going for any
long-term loan
for that.
It's not going to cost.
Okay, so it'll not be a substantial amount in that.
Yeah, exactly. See, let me tell you one thing. Any forward integration projects are not going to be that capital intensive. Neither at the same time they won't add too much of top line, but they'll add the bottom line. That would insulate the company for future.
Right. Understood, sir. Okay, thank you for answering my question, sir.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. The next follow-up question is from the line of Ashish from InvestQ. Please go ahead.
Yeah, sir. So you mentioned that the dumping from China that stopped, I think, after the first half. So second half, we've not seen anything like that. So just a query that before, I think, FY23, 3 years, I think we were making 16% plus margins. And if the situation was like to like, even without our forward integration, we should be able to make that kind of margins, probably.
Dimer is not the only product, gentlemen. Dimer is not the only product in our basket. Dimer is contributing between around 25% of the value. Balance 75% comes from other things also. But Dimer, for the margin, achieving the margin of 15% or 17% or 13%, the pricing of dimer acid and dumping from China for dimer acid is not the only criteria. What is the raw material cost? What are the demand for other fatty acids kind of thing? All those factors put together gives the company's overall performance.
Okay, so there was still pressure on the margins versus what it used to be historically on the other products.
COVID period was entirely different for a couple of years, 2021, 2022, were entirely certain months of those years were impacted by COVID.
Okay. Okay. So now the situation is normalized for the other products, or is it still not as much?
It's normalized. That's the reason we were able to achieve 15% growth in volume terms.
Okay. No, so the margins on those products still would be lower than what it used to be then.
Margins have started stabilizing.
Okay.
Yeah, margins have started stabilizing, and with isosteric acid, as we are saying, we were able to improve our margins.
Right. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. The next question is from the line of Ashok Shah from LSC Securities. Please go ahead.
Thanks for taking my question. Sir, can you throw some light on the capacity utilization on various products?
Capacity utilization in our case is measured in terms of throughput of raw material, because from a single raw material we are deriving multiple products. So like a petroleum refinery, how many barrels they have consumed, in our case also, how much of raw material we have processed, that is the capacity utilization. During 23-24, based on our 80,000 year mark capacity for fatty acid business, our capacity utilization was more than 80%, and in 24-25 we are targeting a capacity utilization of 90%.
So our sales should increase by at least 20%?
What? Let me check you.
So our sales, because we are targeting a 90% of capacity utilization, then our sales should increase by 20%?
From 80% to 90%, if we are increasing the capacity utilization, on a pro rata basis, it will not, sales would not increase by 20%. But yes, because our isosteric acid is a high value product, on a pro rata basis, the sales would increase by somewhat higher amount than the volume quantity.
So what we are saying is we will be getting we are working on 10 to 15% quantity growth. So yes, sales would go up by whatever the quantity growth plus something.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thanks for taking my question. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Hitanshu Shukla, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello. Sir, any revenue guidance for the coming year?
No, we are not giving any revenue guidance, historically also.
Oh. And you told that you will be having operating margin of 15%.
Yeah, that we are saying that we hope to achieve on an entire yearly basis a 15% EBITDA margin. Yes.
So first 2 quarters, the margin will be low, and after the next 2 quarters, we will catch up, right?
It will start going up quarter to quarter.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. A reminder to all the participants, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. The next follow-up question is from the line of Manoj from Kiva Advisors. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Thanks again. So as you said that it's not only dimer acid that caused the problem, but other linolic acid as well, and you said there were RM issues and kind of clients.
I'm not saying RM issues. What I was trying to say was that there are other factors also which affect the performance. You were trying to make out a case that only because the dumping from China has stopped, the company's EBITDA margin should inch back to whatever it was. So what I was trying to say is that EBITDA margin of the company is not solely dependent on dimer acid. It is only contributing 25% in terms of value.
Right. So if you can help us, I think others also want to know that if you can help that other issues, if you can just be more granular, if it's possible, what were those issues and which other products hurt us, and
we have already communicated is that in a particular, say, October-December quarter, there was an issue of lack of demand. If you see our past presentations, these quarterly presentations, which is available on our website also, for the entire previous year, all the 4 earnings calls, you will come to know that what were the reasons for each quarter.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. A reminder to all the participants, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. As there are no further questions, I now hand the conference over to the management of Fairchem Organics Limited for closing comments.
Yeah, we thank you all the participants for participating in this earnings call. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. On behalf of Fairchem Organics Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines. Thank you.